Hello amigos, ¿cómo está? My name is Dan and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Chivas and some issues, and I'm going to do a little bit of a rant, I guess, and talk about positively about the first preseason game of preseason against Mineros de Zacatecas. And yeah, we'll do the rant first, and that's obviously the whole Chiquete versus Chivas situation involving Cruz Azul. Two aspects. One is the Cruz Azul aspect, and the other one is the Chiquete aspect. The Chiquete aspect is the first thing I want to talk about, and that's don't forget, this guy is a canterano of the club. He's a youth product. He's been in the club for like 10, 15 years or whatever it's been. And it looks like he's gone on strike. It looks like Garcia wanted him involved in Zacatecas and wanted him there and involved in the preseason, and he's decided, nah, I'm not going to go. Apparently, he's been advised by Cruz Azul, like, just rebel a little bit, don't turn up to training, push your way out. And it's backfired because I think he's got 4 years left on his contract. He's recently-ish signed a new deal. Again, like, he's not being paid enough for sure, fair enough, but he's literally pushing himself out of the club. So what I'm going to talk about right now, I'm going to stay focused, talk about what he's been doing, and basically he's basically gone on strike. He's not showed up for training. He's not showed up to Verde. He's not showed up to Zacatecas. He's not done anything. And he's obviously trying to push his way out of the club. And to do that to a club that's basically you've grown up with, that's treated you brilliantly, given you your first team, your first opportunity in the first team. You've become Chivas' best centre back right now at the club. You're one of the first names on the team sheet, and you've been treated really well by the club, and to do that to us when it's not even a European club. You didn't even do that when a European club was coming in for you. Like, why are you doing that for Cruz Azul of all teams? Even America, as disgusting as that would be, even Tigres, as disgusting, even Rayados, you could see, okay, well, that makes sense. But to Cruz Azul of all people, I mean, I don't understand it whatsoever. He's ruining his legacy. I mean, he's still kind of, because he's gone radio silent, he can still turn around and, that's all media bullshit. I didn't do that. I was just injured, or I was ill. So he could still leave himself room to come out and say, no, that's not what I was doing. I'm happy at the club. So there's still room for him to backtrack. But it all looks like he's pushing his way out of the club and doing it in a disgusting way and the nastiest way possible. I'm still I've got a little bit of hope, but in my previous video I had way more hope that, it's not done deal yet. Cruz Azul haven't paid the money yet, and he's not there yet. There's still an opportunity for us to maybe offer him a new contract, more money, better deal involving Europe. And it's not over yet. But now the last few days has really tainted my view on him. I hope it's not true. Like, I have to say right now, it could all be bullshit. But it feels there's so many people talking about it, so many people, so many big media players or media people basically saying that he's kicking off, he's pushing his way out of the club. It's hard to ignore it, it's hard to discount that. So that's disgusting, and that's one aspect. The other aspect is Cruz Azul. So everyone's like, well, why have they not paid the money yet? What's going on? Why is it not happened yet? Well, it turns out that, it's £11 million release clause. It's the trigger. You pay the $11 million, and you then are able to trigger the release clause, and you can speak to the player that way. So that's what Cruz Azul did. They must have triggered it to then be able to speak to Chiquete, because he's still a Chivas player. He's still an employee of the club, and the only way they could talk to him legally is by triggering the release clause, which is $11 million. Everyone knows that. I think it rises to 15 in terms of taxes and agent fees or whatever. It's like makes it go up to 15 million, but $11 million basically. And everyone knows you pay the money, and then you go talk to the player, you persuade the player, and then you get him. Bish bash bosh, job done. Well, it turns out, why is it taking day after day after day after day? Well, it turns out they don't really, I don't think they can. I don't think they can afford to pay the £11 million in one go, which is what Chivas are demanding, is what Omari is demanding, and it's what we are perfectly have absolute right to demand. It's like, okay, you're going to trigger his release clause, you're going to buy our best centre back, our youth product, the absolute star of the team, really, defensively at least. Cool. Pay the release clause then. I pay it all in one go. You know, if you want him that badly, you paid $11 million in one go. They're like, well, it turns out that they want to do, you know, 6 million here and 6 million next year and 2 million like 4 years down the road or what. No, like Chivas are not obligated at all to make life easier for Cruz Azul. We're not going to go, okay, we'll make it easier for you to buy our best centre back, who's a youth product, who means a lot to the fans. We're used to anyway. We'll make it easier for you to do that. No. He's got 4 years left in his contract. We're perfectly happy keeping him at the club. You're the one that wants him. You pay the 11 million. And if you can't do that, if they can't do it, if they're unable to pay the 11 million in one go, then it's the most idiotic, foolish thing I've ever seen a Liga MX club do. Because you can't afford to trigger a release clause to an important player and knowing that you can't afford to pay the actual release clause in one go. I mean, it's just absolutely infantile. So that's where we're at right now. I think Cruz Azul are incredibly foolish. I think if they could pay the $11 million, they would have done it by now. I don't think they can do it, that's why. And it's going to be really interesting, because if they can't do it, Amari's not going to, you know, change his tune. Doesn't matter. I mean, we can keep him and we can keep Chiquete and stick him in the Tapatio. He could play in the Tapatio for the rest of the season until maybe another club pays the full release clause in one go, or a European club comes in for him. So it's going to be very, very interesting now. I think they can't do it, because I think if they could, they would have done it by now. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how long he waits for, because obviously pre-season is in full swing right now, and he doesn't have that much time left before the season starts. And if he wants to be playing football, and if Cruz Azul haven't paid their money, then he's going to be essentially looking at not playing any football. So he's got a limited time now. Everyone says that he's got all the power. I don't think he's got all the power. I think Jim's got all the power. There's years left on his contract. You know, there's a release clause. Cool. All right. Pay it. If you pay it all in one go, it's yours. Fair enough. You can't say more. You can't say fairer than that. We're not asking for more money than the release clause. It's pay the release clause in one go. You know, we're not going to make it easier for you to steal our best player, our best defensive player anyway, apart from Mozo. So yeah, it's just bullshit. Cruz Azul are just foolish. He's foolish as well. I just want to put my 2 cents in it, because it's been boiling in me for the last 3 or 4 days now, where more and more information has come out. This is what Chiquete is doing and why. This is what Cruz Azul are doing, and it's just, you know, we're not mugs. You know, maybe we're a bit mugs that the release clause is only 11 million when he's probably worth 15. I think maybe even 20. In terms of his age and his ability, he's going to be an L3 centre back sooner rather than later. Yeah, to do all of this hassle on his part just to join Cruz Azul. I mean, really? Like, Cruz Azul, like, you might as well just kick off and go to Juarez or something, you know. They're that calibre of club, in my personal opinion. It's just an incredibly nasty thing to do, to go to a club that's not really any bigger or any better than Chivas are, in my opinion. They made the Liguilla, Dan. Well, cool. They got spanked out of it, so it was just what we would have done. That's what would have happened to us. So, yeah, so that's my 2 cents on that. You know, Chiquete could turn around and say, look, you know, that's not what I was doing. I've just been on holiday, I've been ill, blah, blah, blah. He could still backtrack. We could still negotiate a new contract with him, and he could still play for Chivas in January. But his reputation has taken a massive, massive hit. He was loved at the club. Every single fan loved Chiquete, you know, 3 weeks ago. Now it's just, you've ruined it all for Cruz Azul of all teams. It's like, it makes no sense. But it is what it is. It's a good leverage for him, though. If he does come back to Chivas and renegotiates a new deal, we're then forced to pay him more. We're then forced to really make a real effort and concessions in going to Europe at some point. So we could take a massive loss and sell him to Anderlecht, for example, for 3 million USD. You know, when we could have got 11 million from Cruz Azul. So we could still buy it in the ass financially, but I don't care at this point. You know, I don't care if he stays in the club and plays at Tapatio for the rest of the season, for next season anyway. You know, that's what he would have earned. You know, if you're gonna kick off and ruin your legacy at your lifelong club, a club that's your parent team, for Cruz Azul, then the appropriate punishment for that is to be stuck in Tapatio for the next few months. And that's not even a bad thing, because Tapatio are a quality team. He's going to be surrounded by a really good club of young players. And hopefully it'll be a wake-up call to him of where he was a few years ago and how he was brought up in the club. And he's going to be involved with players that are in the beginning of that stage. So it is what it is, but, whatever. Moving on to the first preseason, that was just a mere hours ago. We drew 1-0 with Mineros de Zacatecas. Some people kicked off about it, like, oh my god, we can't even beat them. Well, that's not what we wanted to do. Really, it was Oscar Garcia's first opportunity to see his players play an actual game. It was basically a glorified training session, let's just be real. And it's an audition as well. And he played a hell of a lot of younger players. It's been reported on Twitter. There's most of the squad in the team anyway was there's a couple of 17-year-olds, but most of them were 21, 23s. Teo Wilker, I think, was the oldest, with 23 years old. So we played a lot of youngsters, played a lot of Tapatio team members. And I think they did decently well. I don't know how the game went. I never watched the game. It wasn't televised or anything like that. But it was. I think it must have been a decent team, and hopefully, or decent game, should I say? And hopefully, Oscar Garcia got the information that he needs. Hopefully, he's gone. You know what? There's some really, really good young players in this team. A couple of 17-year-olds, like I said. Hugo Cambreros and Samir Inda, 17 years old, and I think they've recently just made their U23 debut. So to get, obviously his preseason does it count? I would say it counts, but playing in the first team is awesome for them. A whole bunch of 20-year-olds as well. I gutted a little bit that Wally started the game and not Dragon Garcia. I would love to have seen him play for Chivas first team. I still think he will. I think it was very much Wally's audition. Are you good enough to be back up to Tyler Rangel? I don't think he is, and I think Garcia is going to take his spot. But some people kicking off about it, like, oh my god, they can't even beat Mineros, but we could have beaten them 17-0. It still wouldn't really have meant anything. I'm just happy that a lot of the youngsters are involved, and it's not just the older first team players getting involved. It's a lot of the youngsters involved, playing decent minutes as well. Even a couple of 17-year-olds, like I said. So I think it's a really positive thing, and we're going to play them again, I think, and I think a whole bunch of the other Guadalajara teams in a friendly tournament. So lots of friendly games coming up before the season starts, and hopefully this gives us Oscar Garcia enough time to get to know his players, get to know the players he wants, the players he doesn't want. Hopefully, I'm hoping that a whole bunch of these youngsters are going to be involved in the first team in the first game of the season, because that's what it's all about. So I just wanted to end the video on a bit of a positive note. Got my rant out of the way quickly in the beginning of the video. Let me know what you think about the Chiquete situation. Let me know what you think about the Cruz Azul. Where do you think Chiquete is going to go? Do you think he's going to stay? If he does, do you think he should go to Tapatio? Do you think if he comes out with a really nice statement that he gets involved back in the first team, would you be happy with that? Let me know in the comments, because I'm very interested to see what you guys' opinion is on that. And let me know what you think about the team as well, obviously, that played the friendly. Are you worried? Are you excited? I'm a little bit excited, to be honest with you, but I am a bit of a fool, so that remains to be seen whether it's foolish hope. But anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll see you guys very soon. As soon as more transfers happen, as soon as we sign more players, hopefully. I think Oberlin and Chavez are very, very close to joining the club, so as soon as that happens, I'll do a video on that as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys. A lot of you have been watching a lot more of these Chivas videos lately, which has been absolutely epic. I really do appreciate every single one. I reply to every single one of your comments. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm a huge Chivas fan. If you're a massive Chivas fan and you haven't subscribed yet, it would be really awesome to do so. We're going to have conversations and stuff, so I really do appreciate every single one of you guys, and hopefully you see you guys much more regularly this season, because that's what I really want to do. I'll do some more videos for you guys, so really appreciate it. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys very soon. Adios.